Hello together. Welcome from my side. My name is Gerd Ritz. I'm in the corporate IT of MANN+HUMMEL and here leading the global data analytics team, the European part of the team. To get started, some words a little bit about MANN+HUMMEL. We are an automotive supplier, founded in 1941, having around about 23,000 employees and 4.2 billion turnover. These are old figures from 2021. And yeah, we are a classical automotive supplier, but also with all the activities going on in the environment, the automotive environment, we are also now focusing on new businesses. So here, one slide, take some time about all the products we are having. So the upper part is about all the products we are providing around the automotive solutions. But as mentioned also with the topic in ongoing electric vehicle batteries, we also started to invest in new products, new technologies, water filtration, air filtration, cleaner air and all this stuff. And that's also the part where we also started to invent an analytics team, because this kind of products we are making smart. So that's also when we founded a new analytics team, focusing at the beginning only on IoT stuff. So I'm the guy coming classically from the SAP environment, dealing with this old stuff, SAP BW. And these are the fancy guys around AWS and all other things what we are doing and what we are talking now about. Yeah, and as said also, oops. Yeah. Yeah, so the team coming in, with the new guys on board. So they did at the beginning, as mentioned, all the IoT stuff, but also at a certain point, we started also not doing IoT, also we invented to do some analytics, predictive scenarios using, and here we also at the beginning started with the SAP environment. At a certain point, we reached the limitations. It was also difficult, kind of black box with all the algorithms. And then we started, okay, we have this other team doing the other stuff. And this was a good choice to say, okay, let's do then also analytics using the hyperscaler, AWS and all their environment. But doing so, you need to bring the data to the algorithms, to the hyperscaler world. And there we were then also looking for some tools to bring the data out of our SAP environment. And then we also got in contact with S&P and started and found this a cool tool to use S&P Glue to bring the data from our S&P environment into this hyperscaler world. And also the data we are building them up and storing in the Snowflake environment, doing then also building up here the data and make it structured and also later on available for the reporting. Some use cases we have in place, doing some machine learning. We have in place, we started with the direct cash flow scenario, bringing all our cash flow data from our business warehouse system into the AWS environment, and then doing some predictions and afterwards bringing back other areas. What we are doing at the moment is also CapEx forecasting, using the algorithms in this AWS environment. And also another big project was the stock optimization, doing a lot of calculations onwards in also then the AWS environment. And as said, also for this, we have S&P Glue in place to transfer all the data. How does our nice small architecture look like? So it's a little bit complex. As you can see also on the left-hand side, we have our current SAP BW system, still on BW on HANA, where we bring all our data for reporting and business intelligence purpose, built over the last 20 years. A lot of stuff in, and bringing all the data from our legacy system and all SAP systems in. The strategy was also then to have the hyperscalers for doing all this machine learning stuff, and also bring in all the IoT, IIoT informations. But at the end, also you quite often you need to bring the data together. And as said, therefore, we also invented then S&P Glue. At the moment, we are bringing mainly our data from our BW system into Snowflake, running in an AWS environment. And in some cases, if we don't have the data in BW, we bring it directly from our ERP system. How does this look in detail? the next slide. So S&P Glue, I don't know who's not familiar. S&P Glue is running and setting completely in the SAP environment. It's based on the ABAP stack. We have installed it at the moment on both systems, our BW system, which is our main source for the AWS, for the hyperscaler environment. And we have it also installed on our ERP system for the data we do not have in BW to bring it over into, that we don't have to bring it into BW and then bring it to AWS. There we are using then the shortcut and bring it directly using from out of ERP into Snowflake. At the beginning, we started also doing still transferring files, classical CSV files. Also from the architecture, also our basis team forced us to have some security in between. Therefore, also we have also set up an Java connector in between to have this as a front line, the outdoor to the hyperscaler world, out to the internet, and then having a kind of an additional security in between our crucial SAP systems and the hyperscaler world. And as said at the beginning, we were also using just to transfer the data into the S3 bucket. This was then file-based, mainly CSV files, but also S&P is also supporting and providing additional functionality that you can directly write into Snowflake, and then directly the tables are automatically created within the interface, and you also have a cool environment to do all the monitoring, administration and stuff. This looks quite good. And then we are transferring the data into Snowflake. In the meantime, also our colleagues from the operations, they also set up some additional environment in the Azure cloud, also doing there in this environment some digital manufacturing, it's called the DMP, doing also some analytics and predictive forecast, and they are also asking now for SAP data, and we are using also then S&P Glue also to transfer similar data, sometimes same data, into the Azure environment on the DMP. So also there S&P provides a lot of things to different targets to support and different ways to bring out the data and bring it into the hyperscaler world. So, high-level architecture and the data flow, how it looks like. So as said, also today we are still using our SAP BW as the main reporting and business analytics tools. Bring the data in, store it there, classically build up with ADSOs, InfoCubes, composites, and then bringing the data out. In this case, we are also writing the data into the first raw staging layer. And from there onwards, we are then doing also some, quite often these are ready to use data because we have all the logic implemented in Business Warehouse. And then they could be directly consumed from either different front-end tools or can be consumed for all the predictive scenarios we have in place. S&P also supports writing data back. We have this also in place. Then data which we, for example, pulling from other legacy systems which are not connected to BW, for example, then bringing this data back from Snowflake into our BW environment, or if we are doing this predictive scenarios, forecasting, then we also need this forecast data in our dashboards, mainly using then SAC for this part. And that's also the possibility then to write the the data directly back into our BW. They are stored in a classical ABAP table, and from there you then can also consume it and integrate it into your data model within Business Warehouse, and then make it available for the reporting part. Yeah. And if we are writing then the data directly out of our ERP system, here we are doing it just in this case if we don't have the data, or if it's data which we do not in BW, maybe for example also some text information, text fields, then we are accessing it directly the SAP table, or we are also can access any ABAP program function module to read out the data of the ERP system and then transfer it into Snowflake or store it into the S3 bucket then. That's what we're doing, and from here we are then also S3, bringing data sometimes back into Snowflake, or do directly in the S3 environment our analytics purpose. That's the architecture, how it looks like today. What we are doing in future, also we are, as most of you guys, I guess, also working on the S4 transformation. That's also a big topic in our environment. Also with this topic, we decided also to change our data warehouse strategy. We decided to move away from business warehouse and move completely into Snowflake, because we also saw that we are now starting replicating the data in both directions and having quite a lot of data redundancy. And therefore, at a certain point, also we decided to go away, not go the way to DataSphere, go the way into the Snowflake environment. Also bringing the teams together. This was also a big challenge in the past, because my team, I was not part. Before I was leading the BW team in the SAP department, and then the analytics team was a separate team, and we had also a lot of nice discussions, I call it. And we also thought, okay, we are doing double work, reinventing the wheel quite often, and therefore we said, okay, we need to bring the teams together, going for one central data platform, and then we decided at the end to go into Snowflake and to migrate all our stuff. And this we will do with our S4HANA journey, because at the moment we are running still on an old ECC system. And that's how then the future architecture would look like. We would start now with the S4 transformation, bringing over more and more data models based on our ECC data, in future done on the S4. And then we would in the future transfer the data directly from our S4 system, our future S4 system, using then also the other options S&P Glue is providing, CDS views, ODP. We'll have to see. There are nice discussions ongoing with SAP at the moment. Maybe you know or heard about it, that it's not allowed anymore. Here we are also investigating and searching and discussing with SAP how to go ahead, but yeah, let's see, or then just use the CDS views to bring the data out. And then the future architecture would be a little bit different, that we bring the data in the first level into a staging level, and then starting building up all the logic in Snowflake, moving the data from raw to cleansed, and also want to combine our data in a common level, and then building up at the top at the end and view, and then start the consumption of the data, either then with our two front-end tools, Power BI, and also we want to keep SAC, SAP Analytics Cloud, so not moving completely away from SAP, because also we need the tool. We are doing a lot of planning scenarios, sales planning, or also using today SSC or classic BWIP for data collection for also actual data, and Power BI is not really supporting this part. Therefore, we also want to stay and stick with SAC and have these two tools then in parallel in use. Good, and then also support all the other tools then directly out of our S4 system, also the DMP you saw before, and also if needed, bring the data directly to any S3 bucket. Good. So, as a summary, why S&P Glue? It has a deep integration into SAP. It's part of the ABAP stack, or everything is written in ABAP. So you have also the full functionality, and as you saw before, you have also different options to pull the data out. You can access it in BW, all the different objects you have, query, composite providers, ADSO, and in the ERP environment, you can access then also directly data. You can access any ABAP program, either written by yourself or any function modules, standard function modules, and okay, they were just switching the slides on the prompter. And yeah, to extract the data, it's easy to use. It's also quite similar. Also, remember myself, my team coming from the BW environment. It's really quite close. If you take a look to S&P Glue, it looks very familiar and similar to as what we are using out of the BW environment, but also the whole framework with all scheduling the stuff, monitoring, This is really a nice front end, and transactions you have functionality provided out of the box, and so also it was quite easy to adapt and get all the BW consultants up and running and working with the tool. What is our way forward? Also, as you saw, we have S&P Glue installed on the different systems, also especially when we are now moving away from our BW system. Today we have all the different SAP systems you saw on one of the first slides connected. We are also now investigating in the newest version of S&P, the cloud solution, so that we have only one single instance in the future. That's what we hope to see. We just started to investigate. And also the S&P Glue also provides an additional functionality connect to other systems, because we have also a success factor in place. That's also something what they promise to support in the future. And also the S4HANA Cloud, because one of our divisions is running in the S4HANA Cloud, the other one on the on-premise, and therefore we are also really highly interested to see how this goes ahead, and that's something what we want to invest also in the next upcoming weeks and months, to see if this could be also our way forward to move over into the cloud then with this topic. And for sure also we have then, with, as mentioned before, with our S4HANA journey, we will then directly connect. That's also one topic we'll have to invest and see how S&P Glue can support and which technology to use. That's also something we'll have to invest when on our journey we have in front of us. And yeah,